Hello? Hi. What? Okay, so today we're going to deconstruct Jennifer Simard in Disaster. So um, the backstory is, if you don't know, Disaster is a 1970s disaster movie as a musical that I wrote with my friend Jack Plotnick, and they're all the archetype disaster movie characters. And Jennifer played a nun, and it takes place in a floating casino that was drilled into a fault line. She's a nun, very judgmental, but she has a gambling addiction, and she's thrust onto this casino, and there's her quandary of like, she wants to do good, but of course she's totally addicted to gambling, and she gives in. So the backstory is she sang this phenomenal song, Signed, Sealed, Delivered off Broadway. Actually, I'll first play you a little bit of just who she is in the show before I tell you the Signed, Sealed, Delivered story. So what made her so brilliant is that she sang her face off in her big song, but she introduced herself to the audience, her first song, as someone that has no singing voice whatsoever. She sort of sang like this, and she chose every vowel became just ah. It's like, Our Father who art in heaven. Everything was an ah vowel to make her sound like the worst singer with affect. So this is how she sounded before she sang her big song. Okay, here, this is from the album. Listen how every vowel is so bland. Ah. Okay, first of all, she has to breathe in the middle of the word daily? Wait, I'm supposed to do that. Why vowel? Okay, so that's how she introduced herself to the audience, and then she sang this big song in Act 1. So the problem is 6 weeks before we began rehearsals, maybe 5 weeks, I had to tell Jennifer that we no longer had the rights to Signed, Sealed, Delivered, which was her big song. And she actually just texted me today, maybe it was yesterday, but the point is she was like, 1 year ago today I was making stuffing for Thanksgiving, and you called me and told me we lost the rights. And she handled it amazingly. And one of the reasons why well, first of all, she's crazy professional. But on top of that, we did our homework beforehand. And before we told her we lost the rights to the song, we wanted to tell her we had a replacement song. So my idea, because she was a nun with a gambling addiction, was the song Heaven Knows. Heaven knows I'm never going to leave you. About how, she's never going to leave this slot machine. And it had heaven in it. And I was like, oh, it's great. It's about how she's never going to give up the slot machine. So I kind of was like, okay, that's going to be the song. Well, cut to James is very into, my husband, he's very into research. He was one of the producers. And he kept researching songs from the 70s. And I was like, why are you researching songs from the 70s? I was like, Heaven Knows is a great song. It's not a summer, it's disco. I was like, cut. And I actually made a video with the staging that I thought of where she's riding on the slot machine. And I sent it to Jack, my co-writer. But James kept looking. And finally James said to me, he said, well, what about Never Could Say Goodbye? And immediately I was like, wait, a million times better. She's like, yes, that's the song. She can't say goodbye to the slot machine. Then James kept researching. That's what drives me crazy about him. I'm like, wait, we now chose a new song. What are you still looking for? But he was really smart because I knew the Michael Jackson version. Never can say goodbye. It's kind of like a slow groove. But he kept researching and he found another version by Gloria Gaynor, I Will Survive Gloria Gaynor, a disco version, which was amazing because I was able to now combine half the Michael Jackson kind of slow groove with the Gloria Gaynor disco version. So my point is I called Jennifer, I dropped the bomb, I was very just like ripped the Band-Aid off. I was like, we don't have the rights to Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I just said right away, I said, but I have another song, it's gonna be good. So I made her a recording of my ideas of what the song could be, and I actually found the recording. So I'm gonna combine the cast album with the very first recording that I made that I sent to Jennifer, and I said, here are my ideas for how the song could work. So first I'm gonna play you, this is first just Jennifer doing it. Oh, and I won't do it on the recording, but I knew the whole idea had to be, she sees the slot machine, and addict style, when you have like a romantic obsessive relationship, instead of just never calling the person again, you're like, by the way, just so you know, I'm never calling you again. It's like, really? It's called you're engaging with the person. So I knew the beginning of this song would be like she was saying to the slot machine, like, just so you know, like, I am saying goodbye to you. It's like, just leave. If you're really going to say goodbye, why do you have to make an announcement? And of course, she gets in the moment when she can't actually say goodbye, which I based a little bit on when I used to work in piano bar. I used to sing, I'm just a girl who can't say So I kind of based it on that, where she's like, good. So anyway, Jennifer does an amazing version of it. So here's the beginning of the song. Okay, here we go.
No.
Oh, sorry. The other thing is, when Michael Jackson does it, Never Can Say Goodbye, girl. And I was like, it's kind of weird. So I said, I knew that we had to make the slot machine masculine to make it a boy. So she calls it Mr. Slot Machine, just so there's a reason why she says boy. Okay, here we go.
No, gamble.
Sorry, my final thing is, she makes her speaking voice so horrific that you're shocked she has any kind of singing voice. No gambling. Like, this is the ugliest speaking voice in the world. That's why it's shocking that she sounds so good when she sings. She's so smart.
No gambling. And to you, Mr. Slot Machine, I say good.
Flapping lips.
Good. Good. Good.
Michael Jackson version.
Never can I say goodbye. No. Never can I say goodbye.
Again, the first thing she does is she pulls her hand. She's holding onto the slot machine. She pulls her hands away. That's why she's like every time, because she can't pull herself away. So I wrote down everything to notice. Every time, notice that she does Gavin Creel, Betty Buckley, closed valve vibrato. There's a very strange vibration. Closed. She does a lot of closed valve vibrato. I love Turn Around You Fool. I love the pulsation on Fool. Then the first time you're like, wait, I think she has a great voice. When she goes, you know, he loves you more and more. You're like, wait, she can actually belt. Because just remember, I mean, the audience only heard it. You're like, our Father. So when you finally get to more and more, you're like, wait, she can totally belt. Tell me why, is it so? And then we go into the Gloria Gaynor version. Her staging was her legs started to go into rhythm. Tell me why, is it so? Stamp, don't wanna let you go. And she began like stamping her leg, and that's how it turned into the disco version. She doesn't breathe. Never can say goodbye, boy. Ooh, I love that she doesn't breathe. Connects that. Then just FYI, just more about the song. The reason why it's so interesting because Jennifer wrote to me after everything makes me emotional about this, by the way, because she got a Tony nomination. It's so exciting. But she wrote to me right after, and we were so scared that it wasn't going to be as good for her because this song off Broadway was like so amazing for her. So we were devastated when we lost the rights, but she was like, not only is it going to be as good, she's like, we're going to make it better. She wrote that to me, and she's right because it did turn out to be better because instead of Signs Will Deliver and I'm Yours, instead of her giving over to the machine, she was like, I can't say goodbye. So her no's were amazing because she would walk towards the machine. No. It was like, I can't say goodbye. No, I should say goodbye. No, you're a bad person. I mean, it added so much tension. It actually literally made it better than the original song. That's what's so great for all you artists out there that are devastated. I'll never come up with an ending, or, we lost our actor. Sometimes things can actually get better when you lose something. All right, here we go.
No. Never can I say goodbye. Every time I think I've had enough and start heading for the door, there's a very strange vibration piercing me right to the core. It says, turn around, you fool. You know you love him more and more. Tell me why. Is it so?
Leg.
Don't wanna let you go. I never get to say
That's when she hit that pose. Right on the that's actually from the show. That's not like a pose shot. That's literally in the moment. She'd grab it. Okay. So the next thing, this is my version. Never can say goodbye. I thought it'd be funny to counteract goodbye with saying hello. So I thought you'd be like, never can say goodbye, hello. So that was my idea. So this is the recording of me doing it, and this is my first image of what it would be. I never can say goodbye, hello. I thought it'd be cute, hello. But of course, Jennifer knew that the whole subtext of the song is very sexual. Like she's addicted, she's aroused by this machine. So her hello, first of all, sounds so sexual, and at the same time, she also grabbed, what's that called? The one-arm bandit, the arm part, and she kind of used it as a microphone or phallic symbol. I don't really know, but it was a much more hilarious version than what I did. So this is her. She took, my initial comedy idea, basically everything in the show. she took our initial ideas and made it a million times funnier. So here she is.
Never gonna say goodbye. No, 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 no. I never can say goodbye. Oh, I
So
keep
much funnier.
thinking about.
Now that's the other thing too. Instead of doing the Michael Jackson slow version there, I picked it up. I instead of I put the disco now earlier than before to keep the song moving. Here we go.
Never can say goodbye. Oh, I keep thinking that our problems soon are all gonna work out, but there's that someone
Oh, hold on. Wait, did I write this down? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just listened to how she says problems. I just love her weird pronunciations. Problems and also all gonna work out. Dote. It's like these really odd vowel choices she makes. Here we go. Let me do props again. Sorry, I wasn't here. Now, just FYI, those great background vocals are by Michael McElroy, who does all the arrangements for Broadway inspirational voices. So this is my version. I knew it had to be picked up at this point. Something had to happen. So I thought, tell me why. Is it so? And I thought, I knew it was going to be a crazy high note. I thought it was going to be an A. Jennifer, by the way, took everything up a step. She wanted it to be a B. But I thought all she could possibly do was pop the note. So I thought she would just pop the high notes. This was my idea for what it was going to be. This is the original recording I made for Jennifer.
Tell me why is it so? Don't wanna let you go. I never can say goodbye, boy.
Don't want to let you go. I thought you'd go, just pop the high note. Jennifer decided to just do every single word on the high note. I remember we were downstairs in my apartment because after I made the tape, she came over a couple days later, and I was like, wait, you can actually hit all those notes in a row? So this was her amazing idea. Here we go. Now, yet again, I thought I wanted to keep adding that idea of the opposite of goodbye is hello. So I thought this would be the little break where she do hello. So this is my recording of what I pitched to her.
I never can say goodbye. No, 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 no. Hello.
No. Hello. I thought it'd be funny to keep. By the way, my tempo was so fast, but that's what I thought it would be. That she would just go hello, and then we rehearsed together. And I don't remember how it came up, but the two of us came up with this idea of doing hellos in a crazy long, not a coloratura run. What's the word? Kind of an obligato, where she just keeps saying hello, and she begins low, and then goes all the way up to this high note. So hold on, I'm trying to make sure I'm still filming. I'm not going to panic that it's not recording. Hey, I'm still filming. Okay, good. This computer drives me crazy. Okay, so here's her long instead of my just hello. That's what we came up with together. Rude. Okay, so this is what's so interesting, how a number keeps developing. It really does. We were making the cast album, and it was either the morning of or the day before the morning of the cast album. I was at the gym. They were playing, I don't know, Sirius XM or something, and it was a Michael Jackson recording of Never Can Say Goodbye I'd never heard before. It was a live version of it. And he went, I never can say a goodbye. And I saw Jennifer in the recording studio, and I said, you repeated so many times. I said, what if the last time you do Michael Jackson as where you divide it up? I never can say a goodbye. And she loved it. So literally the recording is the first time she ever did it. She never even did it on Broadway. We did it for the first time on the recording, but I love it. Now, when we just did it in London, and she added it to it. I think it makes it so much more fun. The other thing is, by the way, right after she goes, hello, 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 everyone hits that chord. I want you to hear in the mixing studio. I brought up Travis Kent a little bit because I love him on the high note. He goes, ah! He just sounds amazing on that ah. So listen to Travis singing back up, and then listen to never can I say a goodbye. Okay, here we go. Vows. So the final part of the song is the other song she sings in the show. The plot of the show is that she doesn't want to gamble, but then someone drops a quarter in front of her, and she's holding up the quarter, and she's next to the slot machine. But she says that I vowed to give up gambling and always love God. So she's torn between two lovers. She's torn between her religious life and that. So we have a callback at the very end of this where she goes back to torn between two lovers, but she still hasn't gambled. This whole song, she's being tempted, but she still hasn't gambled at all. So at the very, very end, she does this callback to torn between two lovers, and then she finally gives in. And, this was kind of based, so when I made this recording, it was kind of based on the end of Signed, Sealed, Delivered. She would go, torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool, loving you both is breaking all. I'm yours! And she would, put the quarter in. So this was my idea of what it was going to be. Here we go. Loving you both is breaking all. Goodbye. Goodbye forever. Turn back around. Hello! So I thought that she would end. It would be the final thing is I can't say goodbye, so I'm finally going to go, hello! But the more we worked in it, we're like, it's just weird to end the song on a hello when it's all about goodbye. So we kept fiddling with it. And she's really smart because then we came up with, I never can say, she holds up the quarter, good, puts the quarter in, and then when she does that slide, that's her actually pulling down. It's her first time gambling. So it actually is great what she came up with at the end because it was such a smart action to be quarter, put in, last note. Is there anything I want to say? No, this is the ending. It's amazing. And she goes up to a B and sounds phenomenal, hence Tony nomination. Okay, here we go. Small voice. Quarter.
I never can say goodbye.
Come on, Jennifer Simard, you're brilliant. We love you. Bye.